Hey guys, welcome back to Diving Deep in Thought. You're here with Elias, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about judgment. Why we pass judgment and how can we overcome this negative attribute. So, what is judgment? Well, judgment is a condescending way of criticizing somebody in order to make ourselves feel better. It doesn't serve anyone because the person on the other end of the judgment is obviously being criticized, and the one passing the judgment is coming from a place of unresolved truth within themselves. So the reason people do judge is because they haven't resolved that truth within themselves in that particular area in life, and they feel the need to express it to somebody in order for ourselves to feel better. So it's basically just having more control or more power over that aspect of our lives without doing any work. And the reason we do this is the brain likes to avoid pain and chase pleasure. And any form of pleasure, our brain is happy to take it, irrespective of how it actually serves the brain. You know, the brain is a very good slave to its thoughts. And if the thoughts are not positive, then the brain is going to keep doing things that reinforce those thoughts. An example of this is if you don't have any or don't have much money and you look at someone who's very wealthy and you start thinking of all these ideas of, why doesn't he have a better car than he has? Why doesn't he have a better house? Why, you're passing it from your point of view. It's an internal way of looking at the world in order to fill that hole within yourself. So it's a quick way to solve that insecurity by judging. And we do it very often. We get stuck in a path of judgment and it does not serve us at all. If anything, it breaks us down and it creates a deeper insecurity. And then judgment keeps going down the ranks and it starts to form, resentment, jealousy, envy. And they're just, these aren't the types of emotions that we want to trade off for, say, contentment or gratitude, acceptance. This is the other end of the spectrum. So how do we not pass judgment on people? The way to not pass judgment is to figure out why we're judging people, the actual target area that we're judging. So if we're judging from a point of money or health or relationship, personal status, we got to look at what we're actually judging people for, and then that gives us a direct indication of why we are insecure, because we're feeling that hole. So we've got to figure out, okay, I'm judging this guy for being very, very wealthy, and in order to do that, I've got to look at my financial situations and figure out why I feel the need to use this lower order of emotion on someone else. Because when you're truly happy with yourself, and when you truly accept the world or you accept yourself, the perspective of the world is basically that everyone's living their own type of life. Everyone's coming from a place of their own beliefs, their own traditions, their own values. And it's not necessary that they need to live out the insecurities you have in yourself. So this is very important that we pinpoint the particular area of judgment we're doing on people, relating it back, mapping it back to our life, because that's where our insecurity is, and then figuring out what we can do in our life to resolve this internal truth so that we don't feel the need to have to fill it with this negative, toxic emotion of judgment. So, continuing off the example earlier, if it's got to do with money, we look at how can I upskill myself to make money, to make more money? Or can I invest my money better than I have been so far? Or is it a matter of saving because I spend too much? And that comes from an insecurity too. So we have to look at balance in our lives in a way where we don't feel the need to externally make ourselves feel better. It all starts from inside. The insecurities, because what you're essentially doing is, this is the emotion that your brain thinks that you need to do to feel better. Now, if you resolve this truth within yourself, your brain wouldn't need to resort to these external ways, this external, continuous feeding your ego, feeding, you know, the power trip you're on, the need to control. No, you shouldn't need to control. Your ability to control others purely comes from the lack of control you have over your life. So because you don't have control over your life, you're just trying to control the whole world around you. And it's a very, very hard way to do it, because 99% of the time you're going to come out unhappy. And you'll never really, you know, disconnect this negative feedback loop until you start working on yourself. So the easiest way to not judge is to see where the other person's coming from. By doing that, you're looking at yourself, so self-reflection, and then you're figuring out what insecurities you have, how you can resolve them, and then you'll be at ease with that particular area of judgment on others. And in that way, you will grow. I hope this video has helped you guys. If it has helped you, I hope you share, subscribe and like, and I'll see you in the next one.